You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, this is very interesting indeed because it looks like a decision has been made on Bill Belichick from the Patriots organization, and there is one major question as to why this is just now coming out, because obviously Tom E. Kernan does a lot of media spots, right? Radio stations. He's got Patriots Talk podcast, great podcast. I listen to it every week, usually 2 or 3 episodes, something like that. And he works for NBC Boston, which has a YouTube channel. Well, it has now surfaced that that a decision was made on Bill Belichick's future, I guess, after the Germany loss. And I know that game was a big deal to the Krafts, Robert Kraft, Jonathan, and, they wanted to win that game badly. And it looks like that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. That's the saying, right? Yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, we all know this past weekend, this happened. The world exploded. This comment that was made to Pat McAfee made, it wasn't even a question. It was a statement. And a lot of people got mad at Pat over this. I didn't get mad because I thought, somebody had to say something somewhere in this broadcast. I thought, regardless, you got the platform, you got to use it. So Pat said this, and it sent everybody into a tizzy. I've made a couple of videos on it because he took some backlash.
Proud of that. You've kicked a lot of ass for the NFL, Robert Kraft. We like to win, so we want to do everything we can to get our team back so we can be winning it. I don't envy your position. What's about to happen? We all know. We don't have to ask.
Okay, so he said that. I don't envy your position. What's about to happen? We all know. Now, it should also be noted that Herb Street and Al Michaels obviously was around that organization this past week on Thursday Night Football, and they spent a good bit of that show, I believe it was in the third quarter, on the future of the Patriots and what it's going to look like, yada, yada, yada. Now, sort of the dirty little secret in media is when these guys go in for these high-profile weekly kind of games, they're around a lot of people and they hear a lot of things. And there was a notion that maybe Herb Street knew more than he was letting on during Thursday Night Football or something of that ilk. And that, look, Dan Orlovsky came out a couple of weeks ago and said that, people already know where Bill is supposedly going. I think it's going to be the Commanders. So this came out this morning, and I got to tell you, this is kind of the end, it looks like, for Bill Belichick. This is NBC Boston. Patriots stirring upset of the Steelers on Thursday night has introduced a hypothetical. If New England somehow wins its final 4 games or at least finishes the season strong, will ownership be convinced to keep head coach Bill Belichick for another season? The short answer appears is no. According to Patriots insider Tom E. Kernan, the Patriots' embarrassing 10-6 loss to the Colts in Frankfurt, Germany on November 12th led the team concluding it would part ways with Belichick after the 2023 season. And I'm just going to play just this little clip.
They came out of Germany. Conversations I had that week made it very clear that a decision was made and they were going to play out the string, and at the end of the year there would be a parting of the ways for a variety of reasons. I think.
Okay, that's all I'm going to play of that because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but you heard that. For a variety of reasons, the decision had been made. That loss on the international stage would drop the Patriots to 2-8. Was so bad that some wondered if team owner Robert Kraft would fire Belichick mid-season. That scenario always seemed highly unlikely, But it sounds like the Krafts have already seen enough through 10 games, had seen enough through 10 games, to understand a change was needed for 2024. Quote, you don't fire Bill during the season. It's just not going to happen, Kernan said. Additionally, though, he's an asset. He's under contract for another year, which we reported after NFL media reported there was a long-term extension in place that would keep Bill locked up long-term. It's only through next year. So that would not be an impediment to them changing course. It had gone too far. Quote, the Germany game, the Commanders game, the Saints game, all huge marquee games, and then there was the Chargers game after that. Just because they won last week in Pittsburgh in prime time, I don't think that quells anything. The Patriots indeed have hit a series of rock bottoms this season, starting with blowout losses to the Cowboys 38-3 and the Saints 34-0, and continuing with a 2017 home loss to a mediocre Washington team. No, it's a bad team with the Commanders. A flop against the Colts in Germany, and back-to-back losses to the Giants and Chargers. And guys, the thing about it is, and we were doing a lot of Patriots videos then, and of course the Mac Jones controversy, everything going on with that, there was still a feeling heading into Washington that was, for this team, it was going to be win, 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 and win. That as of right now, the Patriots would have 7 wins in theory. That they would have 4 more wins, that they would sweep those games against what people perceive to be bad teams, and the offense is non-existent. And I think that is what's causing this to happen. It's the offensive side of the ball and a lot of different things. So while Belichick's legacy as 6-time Super Bowl winning head coach is irrefutable, I agree with that, his recent track record, especially as de facto general manager, has necessitated a change. So his free agency F-ups, let's just say, call it like it is, I would guess hiring Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, I said there's only a couple of coaches in the league that would have survived that, but Bill's the one that could survive it. That them doing that, especially when they had a second-year quarterback, I think the Krafts probably blame Bill for how Mac looks right now. Even if they went out, they would still end up with 7 wins out of the postseason, trending in the wrong direction, Phil Perry added. It doesn't erase all the personnel errors that Tom and I have been talking about here for a long time. So I'm sure the Krafts are looking at and also looking at this offseason and all the cap space they have and what looks like what could be a top 3 pick. And it would be fair to ask, is Bill Belichick the right guy to lead us through that offseason and beyond? So there you have it. It looks like the decision has already been made, at least according to a very damn tight-end guy. I mean, Tommy Kernan is one of the guys that is tied in with this Patriots organization, and he's been covering them a very, very long time. And he said, I don't think he's getting let go during the season. He said that for a while. Now, some people I've noticed is calling out Tom because he's done a hell of a lot of radio hits and a hell of a lot of podcasts since Germany happened, right? And I've got a theory, and this is just a theory, and I can't speak on behalf of anybody, but this is just my theory. I think he was told this on the condition of, we don't want it to get out until ... a certain time. Okay, we're not going to be ready to disclose this. And I wonder if, believe it or not, if the Pat McAfee situation wasn't the catalyst for, and I can only speculate, but I'm thinking somebody involved with ownership or very close to it, gave Kernan the go-ahead, or they had already previously given him the go-ahead of, you've got to wait a certain amount of time. We don't want to get home from Germany, and we don't want this to be the story. So he's been sitting on this, and sometimes that happens. You have to set on stories because they don't want it out yet. And so maybe he sat on it. He said after the Germany game, ... So he had been told that. Very, very interesting. It looks like it is an end of an era for a great coach and obviously with a great organization. And so it does feel sad, but they're right. It's the personnel decisions, I think, combined with coaching decisions and the downfall of their previous first-round draft pick quarterback. I think that's got a lot to do with it because everybody knows, the Krafts love Mac Jones. And Mac Jones's career looks over with the Patriots. I mean, there's no way around it. And I kind of believe Mac Jones would have gotten benched earlier. I have a feeling, and I'm just shitting in the wind, right, that it's very possible that there was a mandate that they had to keep putting him out there. I could totally be wrong on that. Totally. But that there might have been a mandate, from the higher-ups. Hey, we're not giving up on this kid yet. We're not going to do it. We think something's still there. They may still think that, but they may think this is the wrong coach and the wrong group of personnel to bring it out. I don't know. But it's the biggest offseason in over 20 years with the Patriots. All that cap space and at what looks like a very high draft pick. And unfortunately, Bill's results and decisions on the offensive side of the ball have been just that, offensive. Offensive. It's not been good. He has not made good decisions. Free agency or draft. You can't let him have that draft. I think that's the thing. You can't let him have it. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.